Well, here we go, morning day one. Got breakfast and all packed up. I'm about an hour behind where I wanted to be, but waking up to that. Might go walk down the river and glass down that real quick, and then heading up that wash. Well, I made it up to the top of the wash. I'm gonna try to go through this brush and climb up that peak there, do some glassing. But I seen this, and how much water, how much power there is behind it that comes out of that canyon in the spring, just to wash all these big rocks down here, mow all this brush down. Pretty powerful. So there's the wash I just walked up. I hiked up and I'm side hilling over here. Came to this point, and that bowl is right there. See him? He's had 220 yards. He's definitely interested, but I don't think he wants to leave his cows. It's right, I got my rifle set up. He's right down there. I forgot my attachment for my phone, so I'm not going to be able to get the shot. But I gotta get some binos on him and make sure he's legal, because he's in range right now. He's got a cow with him. It's just a waiting game now. He's still just standing down there, looking right at me. Well, he's not looking right at me, but he's looking over here where the column was coming from. So, I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna let him calm down. He's in range. I just gotta wait for him to turn broadside so I can get a shot, because he's directly facing me. It's a pretty nice moose. He doesn't have the 4 brow tines on the front, but I think he's probably 60. He's definitely a nice moose. Bull moose down. I took a compass reading. He fell down in some brush, but I see his legs kicking and stuff, so I got 3 shots off at him. He ran maybe 100 yards and he piled up in some brush. I took a compass reading. He's 58 degrees from where I'm at, but I gotta get down off all this cliff. I gotta circle around, come back down to the bottom, and 300-yard walk. He's right there. That little knob is where I shot, and he was standing right there, and he ran straight back, and he's in the right there in some brush. But how cool, like, you don't get a better setup than right here. I mean, look at this. Well, I had to climb back up to where I shot from, and I hung this ribbon, and I got a ribbon down there. Oh, where is it? Right there, right on to the right of that pine tree there, there's a ribbon, and that's where the moose was standing when I shot. And I got this ribbon here, because you get down there and you lose all this elevation, and that moose piled up, the ribbon's right there, in this brush right there. But you get down in there and that brush is all like shoulder height, and it's just, you can't really tell where you're at, even with the compass reading. So now I can go down to that ribbon and I can look back at this one and then just walk a straight line. And I gotta go to this group of trees right here. There's like 4 or 5 standing dead next to each other, and there's one that's broke off and leaned on him. And that's where I saw him kicking. I looked down in there with the binos and I can't see him, but there's a bunch of brush. So, but that's where I gotta head. I'm just gonna have a snack and water and take a break. So I'm down at the ribbon at where I shot. The bull is actually standing like right there, but he's directly in line. If I go from the ribbon up there, that's where I shot from, right there. Here's this ribbon. I get in line with these, and he fell right down here in these trees somewhere. I gotta look for that group of dead trees, and then there's one like leaning over. But I think he's just 100, 150 yards right in front of me. But when I came down this second time, I was way high. I was way to my right, and I think that's what I did the first time too. So keep walking straight right here. I think he's right down there. But you can kind of see how once you get down in here, I mean, you can't tell where you are. It all looks the same. You need to have, what works really good is to have someone up there, hunting partner, and he can guide you left to right, whatever, tell you where to stop, guide you into it. But when you're doing it by yourself, it's twice as much work. It's a lot harder. Yeah, I definitely didn't come down this low before. I was up higher. So it was worth going back and recalibrating. There's a group of dead trees, and there's the one leaning over right there. This is the last place I saw him. And I see horns. Look at that. See the horns? He's right there. Hey, Moose. Hey, Moose. Hey, Moose. Man, these are big critters. They get. So just a quick recap on the hunt. I flew in yesterday around lunch and we seen this bull kind of in the same area, but we didn't know exactly what he was, or, you know, we just seen him, came up with a game plan to get dropped off like 2-3 miles down the river. And I hiked up to this wash, and he was only a few hundred yards off the wash. So I camped down on the river last night and I hiked this wash this morning. I got up on the side of the mountain behind me and he was still right there. He 220, 230 yards. I shot him and he made a loop. I shot him the first shot, and it was the first one was a good solid hit. He started running. He made a big loop and he died, 100 yards from where I shot him. And I got a couple more into him while he was running. But first day of hunting, it's like 2 weeks into the season, but I'd been working. Just got dropped off yesterday. Everything happened like it was meant to be. Got dropped off on the river, hiked 2-3 miles upriver, camped, woke up the next morning, walked up the wash maybe a mile, hiked up the side of a mountain. There he was, paddles shining in the sunshine. He was with 4 cows. I did a couple calls. He was, he's pretty occupied with his cows, so I did a couple calls and he heard that and he broke off and he came towards me maybe 100 yards, and then he hung up in the brush and he was looking right at me. He wanted to see what he thought he heard before he went any further. So I let him go because he was in range, but he was looking at me. I didn't have a good shot. So I waited like 20 minutes and then he turned broadside to leave to go back to his cows, and I was ready. I got one right in his shoulder. He took off. I got a couple more into him and he kind of made a big loop, and we're 100 yards from where I took the first shot. Remington 700, 30-06. I got my own hand loads, I do. Couldn't be any better. So I got the moose down. I got all my pictures done, my videos. I put up this little game pole. I'm not gonna be able to hang all the meat off in it, but I can get some of the meat hang up there. I'll try to take a load back tonight, but I'm all by myself, so these moose, they're big animals. It's gonna take me the rest of the day to get this process down. I let the pilot know that I got him. It's been an hour and a half or so since I shot him, so I got to get him gutted, but I wanted to get my pictures first. But this is where the work starts. So I got this half of the moose skin back. Now I just gotta take the back strap, the quarters, gut it, rib meat, and then somehow by myself maybe take the head off, and then I can flip it over. But I'll have to get to the other side after. But I forgot my adapter to put my phone on the tripod, so I really don't have any way to film me doing this, so I'll just keep stopping. All you got to do is follow this down around. That's the top of your bone there, down, and then to the back strap, and you flop that quarter off. I got this contractor bag. I slit down the side and along the bottom, and it makes a nice little tarp, so I can put that there. I can put that quarter on it, throw a game bag on it, and I can go hang it on the game pole. Same thing with the front quarter. Cut down around it, pop that off, lay it on the trash bag, game bag, hang it on the game pole. Then I got back strap, neck meat, rib meat, and then that's half of it. I flip it over, do the other side. But it's hard by yourself trying to hold that leg. You like put the foot on your shoulder and like cut as you push up on it, and they're pretty heavy. That hind quarter is probably 120 pounds. So it's not easy to manhandle it by yourself, let alone film it by yourself, process it by yourself. Everything's so much harder when you're doing it alone. Well, I'm about 2 hours in. I got the head off. I got both quarters off that side. The back straps, both inner tenderloins, the neck meat. And that's what's right there is the neck meat, both inner loins, the back strap, and then another piece of the neck right there. So I'm going to try to pack back that loose meat tonight. I got the horns off. I was trying to flip it over with the head on it, and I couldn't do it. So, but I got a couple hours of daylight left, and I want to get my bag all packed and start walking out of here. I don't want to get caught in here at night. So I gotta start packing up all this stuff. On my way out of here with one load of meat. I got all the neck meat off one side, one of the back straps, and both inner loins. Probably, I don't know, 40, 50 pounds of meat. Plus, I have all my hunting gear with me today, so probably 75 or 80 pounds. And I gotta go uphill like another 400 or 500 yards, and then I can cut over, hit that wash, and it's all downhill. It's feeling heavy. I made it back out to the wash. Just gotta go all the way down there. But it's all downhill. I'm gonna find some place where I can throw my pack, get some water, take a break, take my time. Shouldn't take me that long to get back. About halfway down this wash, and I was walking by, and I just caught a glimpse of that chain around the tree. Found an old trap. How cool is that? I bet there's more down this side too if I paid attention. So I just stopped at this fresh creek. Almost back down to the river. But I stopped off here and I pulled all the meat. That's what I had in there. I cooled it off and washed all the sticks and hair and all that stuff off in it. I'm gonna let it dry, and I'm gonna bring back all my hunting stuff back to camp, take everything out of my pack, and then I'll come back up and get. So this is everything that I had packed back this first trip. I got all the neck meat off one side, one of the back straps, both inner loins, and then that's the brisket. So I got that all cleaned up. I filled both my water bottles up. I got them going. And I'm gonna take all my hunting stuff my tripod. That 100 yards back to camp. I'm gonna let that stuff air out for a minute. And I'm gonna throw it in the game bag, haul it back to camp. But I wanted to get it cooled off for one, because it was still actually warm. But it had some hair on it and some sticks and some moss and stuff. Just when you're doing it by yourself, you can't keep it 100% clean. So that was a good opportunity to make sure that there's not a bunch of trash on the meat, and that it cooled down. And that's what it's all about, is keeping that meat good. So I want to make sure I take care of that. Made it back to camp. It's about 8:30. I got the game bags and the meat all taken care of. I got that one drying. I washed it out. I got a fire going. I'm boiling some water for dinner. I got a little collection of firewood here. And then I got that first load of meat right over there. I got a bagel with peanut butter and honey toasted over the campfire. I got some strawberry protein oatmeal there. I don't have a spoon, so I made it kind of watery so I can just drink it. Eat dinner, watch it get dark. Enjoy the night.